What's up everybody, welcome back to another vlog. So lately, it's been crazy around here. A few things that I've been working on and I want to share with you guys to kind of organize your lead flow, as well as show you guys what I've been working on that's been preventing me from doing my normal vlogging.
Told you not to call here. It's not for sale. Quit texting me and aggravate.
Now you didn't miss out on anything. I've been sitting in front of a computer beating myself with a brick trying to figure out what to do with all this marketing and also how to structure it, and it has been a killer for me. Just trying to reorganize everything and trying to make everything flow correctly has been a challenge all on its own, because I didn't realize how big and how many people I had already in my system, and the fact I want to bring in more new people into my system made me realize, you know what, I gotta reorganize this thing. So I'm gonna show you guys a free tool that I've been using. It costs absolutely nothing to use. Maybe in the future, if you feel like beefing up something in it, it might cost money, but as far as the way I'm using it, it works perfect. And it's gonna help out, especially a lot of you new guys. Stay consistent. That way you know exactly what you need to be doing. You can schedule yourself out. So I'll show you exactly what it is. And it's an app called Asana. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but that's what it's called, Asana. Link down in the description. You can go ahead and click on it, download it for free. You can use it on your desktop or your cell phone, and I'll show you guys how it works. Not by diving into the app, but I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I'm using it. So basically what I'm doing is I'm running everything just like a marketing project would be in the real world, which technically this is the real world. So basically what I'm doing is I'm splitting all my lists off into certain tasks. And in those tasks, or in those projects, each project has its own task. Pop this up here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. So you can see all the tasks, when they're due, and what they're gonna be. Now what's cool about it is that I'm able to basically make a flow out of it to where I know what list needs what and when they're gonna get hit, and I can schedule out when they need to get hit by. So my flow goes like this. So basically I have my list. We'll call this list 1. So in list 1, what I usually do is I send SMS to it at least 3 times. So we'll call it SMS 1, SMS 2, SMS 3, SMS 3, and then I'll start with my RVMs. RVM or voice broadcasts, which I'll just put as VB. I'll do this maybe once or twice, then I'll move it down into cold calling. I don't know how to spell cold calling, look at that. You don't have to be good at spelling to be a wholesaler. So this is gonna be my flow for each list. And whenever the list is completed, or the campaign is completed, in the Asana app, you can start a sub-campaign. This stuff is like really self-explanatory when you jump into the app. It literally, you don't have much to do. It doesn't have like a lot of bells and whistles. It's just so plain Jane, it's perfect. It's exactly what I need, because then it reminds me every day, hey, this week you have a text message to send out on list 1, or a ringless voicemail on list 3, or you have cold calling to do on this list. That way I can break it down into some manageable sessions that I can remember, because putting it down on paper does help, but seeing an actual flow like this helps out even more, because when you have more than like 2 or 3 lists, I got like 13 lists right now, and they're not all full. Some of them only have like 50 people on them. When you have something visually like this, you get a better look at what you really need to do. So after I'm done with the campaign, we'll call this campaign 1, C1. I'll go back and send another SMS. I'll call it SMS 4, RVM 3, and then cold calling again. Again, I can't spell cold calling. So there goes 1, and here's your campaign 2. Now, I haven't been doing it like this, but this is what I want to be at, basically. So I have, this is my usual campaign, so this is how I usually do it anyway. but I'm so scattered and disorganized because I am horribly I have horrible ADD, so it's hard for me to focus on anything, and I kind of have to be babysat a little bit because I'm kind of like a loaded pistol with my finger on the trigger all day long, and I'm just all over the place because it's hard for me to focus on stuff like this. I have to have a visual plan in front of my face for me to be like, okay, today is RVM day. Because if not, I'll be sending like 500,000 RVMs to the wrong people and completely miss out on list one. That's been kind of the deal lately. So what my goal is, I want to be able to hit every list at least once a month with one of these. So like, let's say if I didn't get a text message blast in the same month as the RVM, I want to be able to like kind of be close to each other. That way when I schedule these things out, I kind of have an idea, hey, I've already sent 3 ringless voicemails to this list. I've sent 4 text messages to this list. I've cold called it twice. That way every single month there's some type of marketing going into it. That way in the future, 6 months down the line, this guy's gonna be like, hey, you've been calling me for like 7 months, man. I'm actually really thinking about it now. I've been thinking about it since the last time you called me. That way there's some consistency in this. I told you guys a couple videos back that I was using REI Reply, and you can build a campaign like this in there, but the thing that I don't like about REI Reply is that when you go in there to build a campaign like that, it's really hard, and you have to basically import the contacts in there multiple times if they have multiple numbers, which kind of is not really efficient. So what I'm doing with REI Reply is that I am sending out all this marketing, but I'm not using REI Reply to do it. I'll show you guys the flow that I'm working with right now. Now I think this is gonna be a little bit more efficient, but basically how I'm doing this is like this. So I have Slingshot, which is my SMS provider. Then I have Call Loop, which is my RVM/voice broadcast. Now, these 2 providers by themselves obviously are not really anything special. My flow is like this. I'm constantly cross-checking everything in Mojo Dialer. I know, my handwriting is so beautiful. So basically, I'm kind of always linking like this. So Mojo Dialer is where all my leads live. That's where these people are living. What I'm doing is, even though they live here, obviously my phone calls don't get directed into here. So that's when, I know this looks crazy, but you'll see what it's gonna look like. So all my phone calls are being directed now to REI Reply. So the marketing that comes out from Slingshot, any phone calls that come out of that go to REI Reply. Anything from my RVMs, my voice broadcast, goes to REI Reply. And my Mojo Dialers, incoming phone calls, people that are calling back off my outbound calling campaigns, go back to REI Reply. Now the cool thing about REI Reply, it's super cheap. Each phone number costs you about $1. And then their cost per minute is like ridiculous. I think it's like 1/4 cent, like 0.002 cents per minute. So you could be on the phone for 10 minutes and it probably costs you like 3 or 4 cents. I don't even think it's that high. But when you think about that, because CallRail is like, if you really want to make money with CallRail, it's going to cost you at least like $70, $80 a month, plus the phone calls, which after 2,000 minutes, you have to pay for them. I think it's like 4 cents a minute. Then on top of that, you got to pay $2 a month for the phone numbers, or $2 for the phone numbers, whatever it is. So if I have 10 phone numbers, it's going to cost me just $20 in phone numbers. And if I go over the 2,000 minutes, which I'm sure I'm going to go over the 2,000 minutes, it's probably going to cost me at least like $150 to $200 a month just for CallRail, when REI Reply does it all for $50. Now, I will say this, REI Reply is not for everybody. If you're just starting out, I really wouldn't use REI Reply, but at the same time, it's so cost effective that this is only $40 a month. And then whatever your usage is on Twilio, which is how this thing runs. And Twilio costs me nothing other than paying for the phone numbers every month, which is $1, and whatever my usage is, which I've put $30 into that thing, and I'm still using the same $30 that I put into it back in December. And I've talked to quite a few people. It's not like I haven't been using it. Now, I haven't been using it like crazy because I'm still building it out and trying to find a flow with it. It is definitely worth the $50 a month as a first CRM, what I pay for it, and then on top of that, whatever the Twilio usage is, which even if it comes out to $100 a month, it's still worth it because this also has a follow-up campaign into it that you can customize however you want. You can use the preset ones that they have in there. I just chose to delete everything and create my own campaigns on just what I feel like would work best. But the sky's the limit with REI Reply. Definitely a great program. Not getting paid to promote them. It's a great software and I would use it if I was new, especially back when I was starting. Man, I wish this was around because it would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of money. So this is how the flow is going. So incoming phone calls from the text messaging, incoming phone calls from the Ringley's voicemail, and incoming phone calls from my cold calling campaign are all coming down into REI Reply. But again, they all get cross-checked with Mojo, the heart of my system. Now you can use any dialer that you want. I like the way Mojo works. Yes, it's expensive as hell. I pay like $375 a month, something like that, $350 a month. And I mean, it is worth the money when you're up there. But if you're just starting out, you could actually just ride around with REI Reply. And you know, they have actually even a little auto dialer built into it that you can use. Now, would I say that this is going to be a perfect solution? Probably not. I mean, it has its little kinks and things I don't like about it. But overall, it is, you know, the best system for the money right now. Since I have this like this now, I've already spent for the month of January, and this going back to, we're still in the 30-day challenge. I think today is day 17. Not really sure on that one, so don't quote me on it. So far this month, I know I've spent at least $200 in text messaging, about $100 in ringless voicemail. Now the reason why I only spent $100, even though I've probably used about $200 worth of ringless voicemails, is I had a bunch of credits that have been in there for months because I haven't really been consistent with my ringless voicemail campaigns. So about 200 here, 350 here, then all the lists I've skipped trace. I'm still probably at about $1,000, maybe 1,200 max. And that's using all my other tools that I use, like REI Estimator, Rent-O-Meter. I use all those tools to kind of gauge what things will rent for, what are the costs of repairs on some things. I'll do a video later on about how to use stuff like REI Estimator, just because it gets really into depth on how it's used. And I definitely would recommend it for somebody who's just starting out, but it does carry a hefty price tag. I think I used Sean Terry's coupon to get it for $30 a month, but without the coupon it's $100 a month. And I don't use it enough to justify the $100, but it does help out, especially when I'm trying to show a seller how much something's going to cost. I give them a professional estimate versus handwriting something or typing it up on my computer. So that's how my flow is going right now, and this is what I've been working on. For the past couple of days. Now, in all of this is when Asana comes in, so I can schedule everything. This helps me schedule out how all this marketing plays out, which is fantastic for me because I am really a scatterbrain when it comes to this stuff, because this is a lot to remember. And I'll probably remember, oh, I'm missing out a bunch of text messages today, to completely forget about ringless voicemail, forget to look at REI Reply, and I have no idea who's calling in from that. So with REI Reply, what I did is I broke everything down. I don't even know if I spelled that right, to be honest. Voice broadcast, cold calling, bandit signs. Each one of these is gonna have their own phone number. Text messaging, ringless voicemail, voice broadcast, cold calling, bandit signs, and mail. These are two I have not used in a very long time. My mail campaigns, I paused them last month just because I want to concentrate on reorganizing all my leads and all my marketing. It has been tough. I mean, I haven't even gotten a haircut, for Christ's sakes. And I've been looking kind of scrubby. Basically, we're gonna bring all these into REI Reply. So we're bringing all these into REI Reply. That way I can see exactly what is bringing me money. And the cool thing is, in REI reply, you can add tags. So like, let's say you get something from mail, you can add a mail tag to it. You can add a bandit sign tag to it, cold calling, voice broadcast, ringless voicemail, SMS tag. That way you know where are these guys coming from, you know exactly where they came from, and you can track your, not only your KPIs, but you can track your incoming calls. Remember when I told you I used the same metric that Tom Crowley uses? He looks at incoming calls. I want to do the same thing, but now I want to break it down a little bit further to know where my incoming calls are coming from. Because I know that it takes me about 400 incoming calls a month to get at least 1 to 5 deals under contract, or to close 1 or 5 deals. So if it takes that many, well actually I think it's like 200 phone calls a month. Every 200 phone calls I get a deal. So between 2 to 400 I get 2 deals, you know, 600 to 800 4 deals, and so on. I want to try to maximize that and get as many deals as possible in every single month. Especially I'm moving to another market. This works great, but what happens when I'm like, hey, where are my deals coming from? Or hey, I'm in a different area. They're gonna be a Charlotte number. I don't know nobody in Charlotte. That's where, you know, you come back in with the marketing again. This could be SMS Charlotte, SMS or RVM Charlotte, voice broadcast Charlotte. Maybe this is Tennessee. You know, I don't know, just the sky's the limit. You can also use this for virtual wholesaling, which is great too, because now this is costing you what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Wow, I can't even count either. $6 a month with phone numbers. So if you had 100 phone numbers, that's only $100. That's fantastic. That's great, man. That is super cheap. And the thing is, you get an app too with it. So on your phone again. So on the app, you can like see different metrics. You can even look at, you know, people who have called you, which I'm not going to show you people who have called me. Maybe I'll show you a little bit. But basically, you know, you can see where these people are calling from. And then, so what I'm doing is, when people call into REI Reply, I'm going back into Mojo and I'll search the phone number, because in Mojo Dialer you can research the phone number and you can find out, okay, who's calling. It gets a little bit more complicated than that. So basically with Zapier, I can then move it directly from Mojo into REI Reply and update that phone number with the correct contact information and put them in a follow-up campaign. Even though this is not very automated, my outbound marketing, when I schedule it out with Asana, I kind of have an idea, okay, I gotta send out some ringless voicemails this week. I gotta send out, you know, whatever it is I gotta send out in that week. I can schedule it out ahead of time so I know, hey, you know, I'm hitting these lists in a pretty organized fashion. That way I can continue to close deals, because I want to bring in more people, but it's not gonna be worth it if I'm gonna bring in people and then, you know, either lists get lost behind. Like that deal that I just picked up a couple of videos ago, that deal came from an old list that I've had since last year, and it only got called twice. I actually lost a deal out of there. The things that people don't tell you, I lost a deal out of there maybe about a few days ago because somebody else picked it up. And also, some of these not interested people from your Driving for Dollars campaigns, it would be a good idea that if you get in contact with the owner, you can schedule a not interested campaign. That way you can contact these people later on, hit some of these not interested people that maybe they weren't interested 6-7 months ago, but now house has been sitting for another 6 months and they don't know what to do with it. Here you come in like Superman and swoop that house away. As terrible as an example that was. So I know that this video, I mean, I hope you guys got some value out of it, obviously, because this is something I've been working on for days. It's been stressing me the hell out. I've been pulling out my hair. I wish, you know, it was a little bit easier than this. But as you grow and you have more people to hit, it gets more complicated. I would definitely say I'm at a point where I'm going to be hiring another person soon. I just don't know what I'm going to hire them for yet. But I want to organize my whole business. That way when I start bringing people in, that I can know where I'm spending my money at and also know where I need to be spending my money at. Now, I ain't going to hire a bunch of people. I'm not trying to build some Fortune 500 company. But I do want to build a nice income. That way, you know, I can live off of it. My goal is, might be a little far-fetched to some people, but I want to bring in at least $5 million a year. That way, you know, not only can I live comfortably, but there's money there to be invested, because the more money you have, the more money you can make. Now, I know that some people may say money is not everything. I really don't care about the money, to be honest. It don't change anything. I'm still wearing this $3 shirt that I bought from Walmart, even though I could probably go buy me Gucci t-shirts and whatever else I wanted. Now, that's just my style. I like to live broke and my bank account look nice. But at the same time, my biggest thing that I like to spend money on is food. That's why I keep getting fatter and I need to go to the gym. But enough about me yapping. I know that this video wasn't too informative, but I hope it gave you some type of context of what to do for yourself. It's a long time in the making for me. This, building something like this has been one of the most exciting things I've ever done. It's hard, but I like puzzles. And for me to solve this is like a huge accomplishment for myself, because I actually like this whole aspect of marketing. So tomorrow, tune in again, because I'm going out on an appointment and it is from the follow-ups. I'm gonna keep tuning in to this whole wholesaling challenge so I can show you guys exactly what I've been doing for the last 30 days. So that way I can show you guys exactly what these 30 days look like and how they unfold. That way I can also tell you what I've spent on everything. I've already spent for January. Today's February the 2nd, and for January I already spent like $1,200. I'm gonna get the full numbers at the end of the 30-day challenge. I know I've skipped some days, but on these days I'm literally not doing anything, not even marketing for leads, not talking to people, just scrubbing data and trying to get this whole campaign under wraps. But I'm hoping to give you even more when this 30-day challenge is over. I might do it after the 30-day challenge, or just continue to vlog every single day. That way I can show you guys what I'm doing and how I'm growing, and that way you guys can also grow yourselves. I want to give you guys as much information as possible. That's why these vlogs are so freaking long. But enough about me yapping. I'm gonna get out of here. It's about 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna go get dinner started, and I will catch you guys on another vlog.